When I was young, I had some pretty unusual behaviors. For example, I never raised my hand in class to ask the teacher if I could use the restroom or get a drink. When I took the bus, I never got up to pull the cord when my stop was approaching. I would always wait for somebody else to do it. And if no one else was getting off at my stop, I would stay in the bus waiting for the next stop. And then I would walk all the way back to where I needed to be. One day, I went so far that I needed another bus to go back, and I didn't have the money for it. I always thought I was just a very, very shy girl. As I grew old, this fear of doing anything in public never went away. And in my 20s, I struggled with controlling my emotions. I had these crying episodes all the time. I felt sad, hopeless, and unmotivated most of the times. I thought I just had a hard life, which I did, and I was shy. But 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and severe chronic depression, which explained my unusual behaviors and my feelings of sadness and hopelessness. I look back now and I wonder if my life would be any different had I been diagnosed and treated while still young. But I grew up in a time and in a place where mental health was not an option. My parents, my siblings, and other people around me would say and do hurtful things to me because feelings wasn't a thing. And if I dared to feel hurt, they would mock me and call me a crybaby. I would like to say that things have changed. But the truth is, there are many people that do not accept depression, anxiety, ADHD, and other mental illnesses as a true condition. Some people say it's an excuse to be lazy. Others say that it's a sign of weakness, when the truth is that mental illness is just a part of being human. And because of the lack of understanding, a lot of people hide how they truly feel because they are afraid of being judged. In this episode and in the next one, Denzel, Jamie, and I will share our personal experiences, struggles, and successes with mental health. My name is Yolanda Moreira, and today I feel like this. Welcome back, everyone. This is our fifth episode, and we are so glad about it, aren't we?
We are. Definitely.
Huge accomplishment, okay? Um, Let me tell you guys something that I found out. It was really heartbreaking. The CDC, the Control Center of Disease Control, release a statistic every year about the leading cause of death. The last one they released, the most recent one, was for 2023. So 2 years ago. The second leading cause of death
Suicide.
for they do by group ages
Okay.
from 10 years old
Wow.
to 34 years old. See, all like finishing childhood, all teenage years, adult years until 34. The second leading cause of death is suicide.
Wow. That's so
It was
sad.
suicide.
Sorry,
Isn't
I
that?
took your thunder.
No, it's okay. And for ages of 35 to 44, suicide is the fourth leading cause of death.
So it gets a little lower.
It gets the older you get. For 45 to 54 is the fifth leading cause of
It's
death.
so interesting because in the past, I have heard there was the opposite. You know, as you would get
it
between your
was.
40s and your 60s was the leading
It was,
cause.
and we are gonna find out today why.
Now, younger as you get, you're struggling even more.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah, now.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
now it is. And we are going to find out today why they
world's
switched.
wicked.
Why it switched from
Okay.
adult to but adults keep going from 55 to, I made this so small I can't see a thing,
Would you
from
like my glasses?
55 to 64 is the eighth, six, five, six, seventh, eighth cause of death, and what, 6, 7? Now you can say we all have children. 6, 7, get to hear say, oh, I said that the other day for my 90-year-old. He looked at me, that's so 2025.
No way.
That is hilarious.
It was like, people don't say that anymore, Mom.
I think us adults have it so ingrained in our brain that the kids are over it. But
I think we are all used to deal with physical health. We are ready for it. If you have a headache, you know exactly what to do. If you have, like, you break a leg, you know what to do. But I don't think we are still ready to deal with mental health. You know, is it physical? We know exactly what to do because that's what we have been doing since the beginning of times. And now we have this whole new thing that is not so new, you know, but it's growing and it's becoming like the awareness is growing, and we don't know how to deal with it. You
I
know,
actually think we have come long ways very fast.
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Because from our past generation to now, we are talking about, we are dealing with it, we are looking for meds, we're still fighting some stigma.
but not all of us because
Not exactly.
That's the thing. It's the second. That's a lot. You know what the first one is? It's unintentional injury. So
Okay,
it's accidents. So that's the first leading cause of that. That in all ages. All ages, that's the first. And then for most ages, it's a suicide.
See, don't let your kids go crazy. Don't also go crazy, guys. Accidents is the biggest killing.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
the first one, and I checked the other years. All years, the accidents is the first cause, leading cause of death everywhere, and that's why I never go do anything that is slightly dangerous. My husband told me, but then we don't live a life. I was
Exactly.
like, I rather live a long, boring life than live a short, exciting life.
I am the opposite. I actually want it all. I want a long, exciting life. So far, has not been that exciting.
I think
guys.
I'm more with Yolanda.
Yeah, no, I
And
rather
that's
live
why
a long
I'm part
life.
of the group.
That's right. You make
If
the
I
bed.
was, if I didn't have children, maybe I would be like that. But since
Yeah.
I started having kids, my whole perception of life changed.
Yeah.
You know,
Can I say, going back to how society has changed, my grandpa, when he was working and going to school, he dealt with depression and anxiety really bad, but nobody knew it. And he didn't even know it. He would go to the canals and just smoke or just sit because he didn't understand those feelings. And it wasn't until he passed that we realized that that was depression and
Yeah.
anxiety. So it really shows the difference from their
That time
generation
to today.
to
Our generation. And that's
generation.
what I want to, say the good side of things. We still need to do a lot more, of course. But we have come a long way. And I'm very proud of our generation, guys,
Oh, yeah.
for, taking those leaps. It's not easy for us either because we were raised different. But we have the awareness now that they didn't have.
Exactly.
Then the work is on us.
yes. So, and before we start talking about mental health, we're gonna get really deep into it. I just want to do a disclaimer. We are not professionals. Okay, this is not medical advice. This is experience. We all here have experience with mental health, any of them, because there are a lot, and all our children have it. We're going to share with you how we helped our children, and so it's experience. Not everything that works for us will work for you. We are all very unique, different to human beings, and this is the beauty of human nature. But we hope that helps. So I want to start simple. One of the reasons that we have this high suicide rate is unawareness, right? So some people don't know, some people don't care, and some people don't believe in it, right?
that is true.
It is true. And I would like to start with a simple question. So what is mental health? You're explaining to someone that doesn't understand, doesn't believe, or doesn't
Gotcha.
care, okay?
I mean, for someone who doesn't deal with it to the extent that other people. I would say sad, like the person's sad, frustrated, anxiety. I know my daughter used to complain about her stomach hurting all the time, and later on found out that was anxiety. So, yeah, if I didn't know what it was, I would assume it would be like just someone that's always sad.
Yeah, that's great. And it is. It is. But I'm gonna share something after Denzel that will help you to know the difference. Is it just me being sad or is it depression? How to know the difference.
Yeah.
We are
Or
gonna
someone just wanting attention.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I have depression, so I don't
Especially
have to do
women,
this.
we do like attention. That's
Not me. Okay.
Okay, Denzel.
I would say that when you feel out of place, a fish out of water, an alien out of another world, you never fit in. You feel like you cannot have the same feelings as the people around you, cannot understand their connections, and I'm including mental health in a way that's not just depression, but any other issue. It's some invisible dark cloud that you carry around. You don't even know why. And that's the hardest part. That's how I would explain. It's some overwhelming feelings, this dark cloud that makes you out of place in different feelings in different ways. And it's like you're living in a different world, in a parallel reality that doesn't really match what's going on. And you don't know why. And it's usually something dark.
So yesterday, about this question, I had an appointment with my psychiatrist yesterday, and I thought I have to ask him this. Okay, I told him that we were doing a podcast, and I asked him if he had to explain to someone that doesn't know, that doesn't understand, that doesn't believe in mental health, how would he do it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and here is his answer. He's great. You guys will see in this episode how many different doctors I tried, and that's one of the things that is really important, to find the one that
The right one.
the right one. Yeah, so don't be afraid to walk away from the one you're not feeling
The
comfortable
first,
with.
the second, the third. Keep
Yeah.
trying.
Keep trying. Don't
It's
start
like a
walking away.
marriage.
Yeah, so he's not a psychologist, so I don't do therapy. It's medication management. So my psychiatrist yesterday, he said this, and I thought that was phenomenal. He was like, let's imagine, because people have a really hard time understanding sadness and depression. Because when you say you have depression, the person is going to tell you, I feel sad too. Do I have depression? Like I feel sad too. So there is a big difference. And this is the example he gave. Let's imagine you got a fever, right? And you're like, oh, I got a fever. You don't go immediately to the doctor. A fever is manageable, right? Mm-hmm. So you go, you take a Tylenol, ibuprofen, and then the fever insists. So 2 days with fever, 3 days with fever, 4 days with fever. Aren't you going to start question, why is this fever not going away? Mm-hmm. Because we all know that fever goes away. So what if it's been 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, you have that fever? You're going to have to go and find a way. And the doctors are going to start questioning. That's not normal to have a fever that long. That's depression. You start being sad, unmotivated. For 1 day, it's normal. It's not depression. For 2 days, normal. But it comes to a moment that you're going to like, that's not normal, right? You can't be sad forever. You can't be unmotivated, angry. All the symptoms that depression brings, you can't, or sometimes 1 or 2 symptoms. You don't have to have them all. But it's not normal to have weeks over weeks with that feeling of hopelessness, of sadness, of, I don't fit in. I'm not enough. That's depression. That's when you go and get a professional help, because that's not normal. So when someone comes to you and say, I have depression or mental illness, it's because they are not sad. They have been dealing with those feelings for months. And some people like me for 13 years. I loved my doctor's answer, and it helped me a lot because I never thought that way, right? Because that's what people think. I get sad sometimes too. Mm-hmm. So the difference is if it's persistent, if it doesn't go away, You
If you
try,
can't shake it off.
if you can shake it off, you try some vitamin D3 because sometimes it's lack of sun. So if you go out with your friends and try to cheer you up, if that doesn't work, and sometimes it's a situation causing that sadness, if you fix the situation, if that doesn't go away and persist for over 2 weeks, that's what they say, 2 weeks.
Interesting. 2 weeks?
When you go to the tests, all the tests, they say in the last 2 weeks,
That is
have
so
you
true.
felt? Yeah, yeah. It's a real diagnosis. It's a real disease, and it's killing people. It's the second leading cause of death. Okay, so depression is the main. I think it's the mother of the mental health, right? And there are different types of depression. So let's see some here. We have situational depression. We have clinical depression or chronic depression. They're both the same. We have depression after trauma, grief, divorce, illness, and postpartum depression. And we have depressions that respond to treatment and depressions that doesn't respond is called treatment-resistant depression. So we want to dive in on all these ones. So tell me about your mental health, Jamie. We have no BS in this podcast. We talk the truth. So have you ever
I hate being vulnerable, guys.
have you ever experienced any type of depression before, or are you dealing with it right now? Just share with us.
For most of my life, I didn't, and then we moved to Utah.
Yeah.
And
I don't like
would
that
say-
part because I love Utah.
well, I'm not saying it's Utah,
Yeah, I know.
but I've lived in Georgia for 27 years, and then we make this move, and it was culture shock and all that. So mine is definitely situational, and it was really, really hard. I went in for about 6 weeks to a very deep, dark depression. Like, I just cried nonstop, day and night. I felt like God didn't love me. And that's the worst, is to know that God doesn't love you. Like, what's your purpose here in life? You know, you've got to feel God's love. And once I could get a glimpse of his love again, I started seeing light. I started seeing hope. Because without that, there isn't anything.
So what helped was to understand a little bit better about things. So like that class
Well, and
helped
then,
you.
starting to meet friends.
Yeah, of course.
These two came into my life. And
And that was another thing that you did that was really good. You opened up. You said that day, first time we talked, you said that you were in deep depression because of the move. And
That's true.
yeah, so
Was the
that
same.
because probably if you hadn't said, I would just kept living on with my life. But you said the magic word, I need help. And when someone says that near me, they are gonna get help.
Yolanda, my bank account needs help.
yes, my bank account needs help, Yolanda.
So you opened up, and that's made me like, you know what, she needs a friend. And then I started asking her, let's hang out, let's do things together, let's get our kids together, and all those things. So that's one thing. If you're going through a situational or any kind of depression right now, talk to someone and just open up. How about you, Denzel? Did you have you ever experienced any type of depression or are dealing with right now?
Yes, I have experienced. I think my number one coping mechanism is humor, as you guys have seen.
She laughs about it.
Self depreciatory, like self deprecatory, something like that. Humor.
We love that you have humor.
I know, right? And then I play and I tease so much, especially about my issues and about myself. I don't take as much serious as I should. But usually mental health comes in twos or threes. You have a huge one issue that always come together. They are all called like twin siblings. If you have usually depression, it comes with anxiety or ADHD. If you have ADHD, it's gonna come with one of them. It's one of the side effects of the main one. Same with autism and defiance disorder. All those, they all come together. They are wired in the wrong way in your brain, the same pattern, the same side of your brain, parts of your brain, which is very interesting. My main mental illness is anxiety, which is also my superpower. It's crazy to say that because it's my fuel.
Yeah.
I run on anxiety. And I had seriously bouts of depression when my kids got diagnosed, and I had my life turned upside down with their disease, and all my dreams, all my expectations, the mourning of all my hopes and dreams for the future, and how they changed that would be. But this brought me came not brought me this depression came with anger, made me very angry. And it was the and sometimes my anxiety, because what means my anxiety, I live in the future, right? And I'm constantly worried about what can happen, which makes me great as being a planner. I'm a great planner. I'm grading and figuring it out in a really fast matter of all the things that need to be done, all the things that can go wrong, and how can I fix all those wrong things, or how can I avoid them. But at the same time, this leaves me in a constantly position of worry, which drains me physically, drains me emotionally. That's not much to give. And that sometimes will connect to depression because I cannot deal with my life. I'm so worried about all the bad outcomes that I don't want to get up. I don't want to move. What can bad that can happen if I get out of this bed today? That's why usually one come with another.
You're like the inside out
Yes.
anxiety, the orange lady.
Yeah, yeah.
I can just see you running around in circles.
All the time. That's my brain, guys. All the time. I'm running and I'm thinking about everything. I'm getting everyone excited. But that's also why I do so many things in such a little short period of time. And literally, it's my boost. And through therapy, which I'm a huge advocate for therapy, for anything and everything, through therapy, I was able to harness it, to use this as it is, as my superpower, to balance it.
Your therapist was Joy.
Was joy. Was definitely joy. But that's what I'm saying. But that's something that I need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
It can be my dooming, but also can be my superpower. It just depends of how I can control it.
Yeah.
Basically, then that's one thing that I would like to point it out. Not all is bad. Sometimes your bouts of depression brings you so much connection and empathy and understanding to things that you couldn't before. Connect with people that you ostracize because, oh my gosh, they're so weird. They are so, like, I don't want to be their friend. I don't want to be with them or whatever. But then you can understand the darkness that can comes up to people in a better way, in an easy way, and you can connect with them and you can help them get out of it. Same as with ADHD and autism. When you feel out of this place and you don't match with the culture, with the people, with, how the people are supposed to feel or look alike or act around you.
For me, I'm going to answer the question too, if I have ever experienced. As I commented here, 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with a severe chronic depression. I was born with it, according to that diagnosis. And looking back in my life, I was like, yes, definitely I had it. But we weren't allowed to have emotions and feelings. We were kids. Our time was so different. But I was, when I was diagnosed, I was already, I had my first child. And what I think that triggered that, it was like the responsibilities, nights and nights of without sleep. And I developed this overprotectiveness thing for my child. And everybody said it's because it's the first, and then I have three, and it got worse and worse. I am extremely overprotected, protective. And I think that was a postpartum depression type when I had my daughter, because I couldn't stand anyone touching her or holding her. I didn't want to leave the house because I didn't want people holding her. I in my mind, someone would kidnap her anytime. And in Brazil, it's a very dangerous country. So there was this common thing that people would be robbed, like in the cars. They stop you in traffic, take your car, okay, get you out of your car at gunpoint. And there were a lot of stories that they wouldn't give you time to if you had a baby in the back seat. So I never sat in the front. I always sat in the back seat with my child, because in my mind is, if they do it, I will be with my baby. They are not taking my baby without me, right? So I had that, and that, like, it's normal to have a fear, but mine was controlling me. Okay, so I wouldn't do things because of that. I wouldn't leave my daughter a second. So, and then I became angry, and that's something that is not me. I became so angry. I was being so mean to my husband, and patience. I had no patience. All of a sudden, and that, of course, as I said in the beginning, it wasn't a day or two. That went for months. Until the day that I was so mean to my husband all day that he broke into hives. And so it was at night he had hives, like huge hives all over his body. And then I thought he was a allergy of something he ate, and that he did nothing different that day. And then he told me, he was like, "Oh, it's emotional. I get like that when I have emotional feelings, like strong emotional feelings." And then I knew it was me, because I was being like the biggest B word with him the whole day. And the problem was I couldn't control it. I knew I was being terrible, but I couldn't control it. It was stronger than me. And that's when I was like, if I want to stop hurting the people I love, I need help, right? Because I didn't know how to control it. I tried. I like breathe, count to 10, try to be better. I just couldn't. When I realized I already done it, so I looked for help, psychologist, psychiatrist. I did therapy, and I started on medication, and things got really better. But then it's when I realized that my depression is, what is the name I said? Medication resistant, treatment resistant depression. So it's like a couple of months, and then you need to increase the dose until you get to the maximum dose, and then I gotta implement another one. And that's been my life for 13 years, different medications, different treatments, different this, because everything works. Some things don't even work at all, but most of them just work for a period of time, and then everything goes back to zero, and then we have to start over. It's been a journey. But the hardest thing for me about depression is not knowing why. It's being completely frozen. I don't want to leave the bed. I don't want to be with people. And I'm very social. I don't want to, do anything, but I don't know why. That's for me, it's the worst, because when you know why, you go and fix it. But when you don't know why, and my husband always asking, what are you feeling? It's like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I just know that I feel this tightness in my heart, this sadness, this thing that I was like, I can't live with it, but I don't know why. I feel unhappy. I feel miserable, but I don't know why. I'm going to skip a little bit for anxiety. That's Denzel's superpower. People are all different, so is anxiety. So, to the American Psychiatric according to the American Psychiatric Association, the most common anxiety disorders are generalized anxiety disorder. That's what I think I have. Sometimes, but it comes, it goes. I don't have like depression that I have 24/7 my whole life. Excessive worry, that is disproportionate to normal anxiousness around upcoming life events, such work. When you have to do something that it's a simple thing, but your worrying it's not normal. I think
like
Jamie has that.
In sacrament?
When she has to talk in church or teach, she gets a little. She got more word than usual. That's the general, but there is social anxiety disorder, and it's growing a lot.
Lot. Yes, the
Okay?
new generation. I see
You
that
see
a
it.
I
lot.
think video games have a lot to do with that. Like, I hate to say it.
We
but
are, as I said, we are gonna find out the source of everything today.
Watch Toy Story 5 and you'll learn about that.
we watched Toy Story 5 yesterday.
now, guys.
No, Bonnie. Not Andy.
So social anxiety disorder, intense fear of social interactions, making it hard to go out, make friends, or interact with others. And I'm seeing that for me is hard to understand because I never had it. And separation anxiety disorder, guys, I found out yesterday that I have that when I was researching and reading because I don't let my children have sleepovers anywhere
Yeah.
else.
Yep.
I don't let them go anywhere. When my husband has to, like,
Like you don't let them go to the corner. And
Yeah.
you pretty much live in a corner.
they can't leave the circle without me. And I thought it was just being overprotective, but according to this, I think I have separation anxiety disorder.
I probably have a little touch of
Yeah,
it.
my husband never travels,
I
but
don't.
I think in our 15 years of marriage, he had to travel like twice or three times. I panic.
So interesting.
I panic. I hate when he leaves, you know, and I'm always thinking something bad's gonna happen to him. He's not gonna come
That's
back.
anxiety.
He's not gonna come back, you know, and he needs to check in with me all the time. And there was one time the flight got late and something like that. He took a while. His phone died, guys.
You already a widow.
I almost died. I was like, something bad happened. And then finally he was like, no, my phone died. And then the some problems in the airport. Now I'm in the hotel. Oh my goodness. So I didn't know, but I do have anxiety. Separation anxiety disorder, fear of being separated from someone, usually because of worry that something may happen to them while they're away. That's me. I didn't know, but that's me. My children almost didn't go to school. I almost didn't put them in school because it's like something's going to happen to them while they're in school. I need to be with them all the time, or there's something is going to happen, you know?
You know one thing that I'd like to confess, therapy moment, that you just pop this huge, lamp in my head, like, ta-da, aha moment, is that I have anxiety of not having anxiety. It's such a love and hate relationship because seriously, I'm thinking if I don't have anxiety, I cannot prepare my children to avoid all the issues and they can die of their disease. It's like I need what is killing me to thrive as a good mother, guys, for their disease, because I'm constantly thinking what they might need today, what they're gonna do, what they might do, where they're gonna go, what they're gonna eat, let's plan their meds, their pills. If they have this symptoms, if they have that symptom, that's the treatment we're gonna do, that's what we're gonna do that, and let them live, and I let them free, and try to have a backup plan for whatever can happen, or whatever they can feel, and I actually am worried that if my anxiety goes, my worries goes, I'm not going to be as good as taking care of them because I'm not going to prepare for all the possible outcomes that 24 hours can give me.
Yeah.
I'll ask my psychiatrist if that is okay.
Probably not, but actually that's what makes me so good at being a cystic fibrosis mother.
Yeah.
Because I am constantly prepared for things and trying to avoid those things and prepare them for without the meds and treatments before. That's why they're so healthy and thriving so well. You wouldn't say that they are sick as they are.
Well, the Lord knows who to give to
Yeah.
the right people.
Not me, for
You know?
sure.
Fair
He
enough.
knew I wouldn't be able to handle it, but you can.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know. I'm falling apart, but I am doing it.
if you don't know what we're talking about, Denzel, her two youngest children have cystic fibrosis. So if just watch our second episode, It's the episode we talk about her cystic fibrosis, my youngest with autism, and Jamie dealing with epilepsy and learning disability as herself, not with her child. So watch that one, and you're gonna understand what's going on here. One thing Denzel said earlier about being all connected. Do you know why?
Why?
This side of the brain is the side that controls all that is the same side of the brain that controls anxiety, happiness, sadness, focus. It's all the same. So it's so close, the wires that they cross. That's why everything, mental health, it's just, they created this name mental health to cover everything, because it's all in the same side of the brain. Okay, so, and there is also phobias. Did you know phobia is anxiety, a type of anxiety?
Yes. OCD and all those things.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
They're considered mental disorders.
It's intense fear about a specific thing or situation. Guys, I have a phobia. Do you guys have phobia?
Yeah, a phobia of rats and mice.
Oh,
I have
really?
phobia of being vulnerable.
So I have phobia, but it's real phobia. I moved from a house to another once because of it. I have phobia of caterpillars.
I thought they were going to say ghosts.
Ghosts. No.
Caterpillars are cute. Look at rats. They're not cute.
If a rat pass here, it's fine.
I'd be screaming
No,
bloody murder.
I have phobia. I can't, if I see one, I can't go back that place.
So we better pray that there's not a rat and a caterpillar in
Caterpillar.
the same house, because they did
Imagine that.
No, guys, I have phobia of feelings. You guys are laughing at me, but it's serious. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to have them. I thrive in being cold, perfect, and numb.
And
You know?
that's you need.
I am not very healthy.
You need to find help.
She's trying.
No, but I take
just-
meds for it, and I do therapy. Come on, guys.
I'm gonna send my psychiatrist number to you. You need some help. But the funny thing is that I was born and raised in the middle of the forest, and caterpillar was the number one thing everywhere, including inside the house. Have you ever felt any type of anxiety before, and how did you or do you deal with it? Anxiety.
Well, I think my anxiety comes from my learning disability, because I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable. I don't know things. And so when I have to stand up or to talk or whatever in front of a bunch of people, they're so much more smarter than me. So that's where the anxiety comes in, because how am I supposed to teach them something that I don't know myself, or I don't feel confident enough in myself, or, so.
Yeah, I understand. That's a terrible feeling.
I deal with denial. I deny that I have any issues, guys.
Denzel, based on what she said, anxiety is so strong on her that she rides it. She uses it and thrives with it.
Yes.
Right?
It makes it her strength.
But
I make it my strength until it's not, but I do most of the time.
did you ever feel like that thing? Okay, I am gonna explode because I have been
Yes.
living on
I
anxiety
crash.
for too long. Yeah.
I crash. It's literally, I crash physically. And that's when it can happen, bouts of depression. But I crash physically constantly. Because of it, I know that I have several issues. My relationships crash too, because who wants to be with a person that's so pessimistic? I'm constantly thinking, what could go wrong? This could go wrong. Don't touch this. Don't do this. And eventually I'm so exhausted of carrying that, awareness, observance, weight of observing everything constantly, or being alert constantly, that makes me angry, makes me tired, makes me grumpy, then I want to avoid everyone, like it's not, that's what I'm saying, like I need to balance and and dose every day to not let it go too much. That's gonna, crash me and run me over. And also the thing about this is that any anxiety with triggers when the worst scenario that you were expecting it happens or something that resembles that, that's what gives you PTSD.
Yeah.
The panic disorder,
Yeah.
that it's of something bad that happens. And for example, guys, I'm constantly going to doctors for routine, we're constantly testing the kids, be on top of things. My our team of doctors here in Utah are extremely proactive, one of the best in the country. And but I hate it, guys. And that's a constantly thing. It's a daily. It's like I constantly need to deal with it, and makes me physically ill. Every time I need to drive, to up north, which is every couple months, it makes me sick. It truly makes me sick, physically sick. And it has been 10 years, guys. Every couple months. It never gets better. It hasn't got better yet.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You can't even have hope that you're never, because it's not doesn't have a cure.
Doesn't have a cure. Then
So-
I am dealing with my worst nightmare every single day. Yay!
And
And I need to thrive and to do well. That's why denial is such a big part. But that's what I'm saying. Like it is so hard when and we think the PTSD only
To be
comes after
continued.
war or traumatic things, or if you were in the military, or you have having horrible things happen to you. But no, sometimes traumatic things is things that change how you are and the way that you are wired, and you need to keep dealing with it constantly.
So as we saw the statistics in the beginning, and we saw that suicide was the second leading cause of death of children and teenagers from 10 to 18 years old. Why is this happening? Why do you think what's causing this shift? As Denzel commented, it used to be it's the opposite. The adults were being the ones committing suicide, and we know why, because we have just too much on our shoulders, right?
Yes.
And kids, they have not a thing to worry about. So what is, in your opinion, of course, what do you think it's causing this shift?
Social media.
Yeah.
Access.
Bullying.
But I think bullying was so much heavier in the past than it is now. But the thing is, social media, you can't run away.
There's-
Because if you were bullied, like in the past, you were bullied in school, at least you wouldn't be bullied in your home. But now with social media,
Yeah.
you're bullied 24/7.
Yeah, people are texting. I mean,
Exactly.
there are people dying because of social media bullying.
And social media is a bully, guys.
Yeah.
We, especially for women, they raise the bar to expectations. They are not natural and impossible to reach. We are never good enough, or beautiful enough, or skinny enough, or hot enough, or
Yeah.
whatever enough. That's why I'm seeing like those expectations of how you should be as a human being, that doesn't match the possibilities, the reality. That's why I say social media in general. And also, I feel like too is the access to information, which can be really good. But now we are bombarded with all the bad in the world. That is nothing we can do about it. Before the news sources would filter for you what would be relevant for our city, our time, our day, our country, our language, our culture. But now we know all the bad things that's happening 24/7 somewhere around the world. And that gave us bouts of depression too.
Yeah.
It's a dark time to live, guys, because, and I was telling this to my daughter the other day, because in my time, my world was my city. Okay? In her time now, is the whole world is her world. And that's too much.